Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Sith Lords and Jedi, I am Johnny of Level 1 Gaming. I'm a writer here. Welcome and co-host of this stream. Baron, my lovely co-host, is not able to make it tonight, but, I found some friends. With me tonight is Dallas. Say hello.
Hey, what's good, y'all? It's actually my first time on Starcross Gamers, huh? I actually been on Adventures of the Black Nerds before. Funny, me and Doja, me and Kiddo. And look at us now.
That's right. And then in going right off that, we also have Mr. Doja. What's going on, buddy?
Going on, fellas? Glad to be back on Starcross. I think this is my second appearance, if I'm
I
not
believe
mistaken.
so.
Oh man.
Yeah, we've all been together before, so now you've got yourself a bit of a surprise tonight, folks. So, bam. And before we get going here, I would just like to say a couple things. First off, I think I would just be remiss if I didn't just say R.I.P. to the comedy legend Norm Macdonald that passed this week. A great shame. I'm not going to linger on it too much, but just wanted to get it out there to the digital world. And then, secondly, a big thanks to both of the guys with me tonight, because if they weren't here, we wouldn't be having a show tonight. So, uh, be sure to give out a big thanks to these guys. And with
Yeah, I
that,
think you could have held it down on your own, Johnny, but
You
we'll
could
leave
have.
that alone.
I only really showed up half out of necessity and half because I kind of invited myself because I know whenever Johnny gets to talking Star Wars, I learn some shit, and it usually makes me get more into Star Wars. So
Yes, definitely.
yeah, that's where I'm at with it. So I'm glad you had us. You really didn't need us.
Johnny is the Palpatine of the crew because he can mind manipulate you into falling on either side of the Force. So
For real, for real.
hey, I wouldn't say manipulate per se. If this was an RPG, I would just have like maxed out charisma. That's all. But
nah, your mini chlorians off the chain, player.
For real. Yeah,
but
man.
yeah, going off of that, yeah, our first category of the night, Star Wars. Now, of course, I do just want to make it said that last time, uh, way when the old days of pre-level one Starcross, Kiddo was supposed to be on one night, uh, and we were doing Star Wars talk, and he was not happy that he missed the Star Wars episode. So this is payback. Now Baron's not here,
Uh,
Yeah.
so enjoy this one, my friend. So, with that being said, Star Wars. Have you guys been keeping up with the latest and greatest of the Star Wars stuff, i.e., Bad Batch or anything like the what's it called? The anime show that's going to come out? You guys following either of those?
well,
Um. Go ahead.
I've been actively dodging everything Bad Batch, right? If I'm scrolling through
Mhm.
YouTube, which there's so much Star Wars stuff suggested to me, if I'm scrolling through YouTube, I actively get away from it because I don't want anything. I mean, I know for the most part a lot of things that happen just from my general Star Wars lore knowledge, but I don't want to have anything too much spoiled for me because I'm still watching through Clone Wars. Actually,
Mm.
I'll check and see where I am with that, but I'm pretty sure I'm at least in season 5 by now. I kind of stopped because life stuff happens, and plus I've been watching off and on some Hunter x Hunter, trying to get that finished.
I love that freaking show, bro.
It's so good. It's so good, man. So, it's kind of been like that, but I made it to at least season 5 of Clone Wars, and I didn't want to watch the Bad Batch until after. Me and Johnny talked about that behind the scenes. And as far
Mhm.
as what was the new one called again? I can't remember. Legends?
Legends or Adventures, something like that.
Adventure. Okay, yeah. I have not tuned into that yet, but I'm going to make it a point to because apparently it's canon.
It's non-canon. They
It's
made
not
it
It's
a
canon.
point to
non-canon,
make
yeah.
sure it's not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I was because I didn't
It's
understand how.
it's a lot of people think it's canon because it ties in so closely with the movies, but it's not actual factual story. This is something that somebody smart came up with and brilliantly executed this freaking show.
I understand. Okay. Yeah,
Man,
it looks super good. So I have to check it out.
yeah. It's surprising to see that Star Wars Visions, I looked it up, is already getting such high praise. To my knowledge, is it out? No, it's only the trailers that are out, correct?
Yeah, it's just trailers. I have the show's not out yet.
Yeah,
Oh,
I thought
okay.
so. But um, yeah, Bear and I spoke about this not too long ago. He is excited, and I am too, to a degree, because it's more Star Wars content. But me personally, it's an anime. I may get I know I'm in the minority here, but I'm just not a fan of anime, and I'm not gonna hate on anybody, of course. Everybody is allowed to enjoy whatever they want, but it's just not my cup of tea.
You
But
know,
But my
I
my
do.
thing about it, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Donnie.
I was just gonna say I do hope it goes well and everybody enjoys it.
Well, a lot. Okay, as far as an anime aspect of it, anime is just a form of art. Like as far as the way the cartoons are drawn.
hmm
Mhm.
So is that what you have an issue with, the way that they're gonna look, or is it because it's based on anime in general?
Well, I don't have necessarily a problem with the art style. It does look pretty good. Well, actually, with that being said, it's not like whole show. It's a bunch of short stories,
Yeah, like
correct?
a
So all
anthology.
of it is yeah. And I believe each episode or arc or whatever has its own style. Uh, so like one of the clips I kind of had a problem with. So it's not strictly art style, but I think it's just like the way the tone or whatever. I think we came to the conclusion of that just like the I don't know what it is, like goofiness. I know that's not probably the correct term, but it's just something about the way they tell the stories that I just can't get behind, I guess.
But
Really?
just in the defense of that, each episode is supposed to be drawn and animated by a different studio.
Hmm.
It is
Is
all
that
very
that's not
different.
the fact? That's what I gather from. It's supposed to be a different studio doing animation on each show.
You know,
Yeah,
people that
like
I think people that like anime are very freaking weird, and I think people that don't like anime are a whole lot weirder. Like, because I don't know, I can understand the fact that anime just by default is a very Japanese thing, right? Especially traditional anime by Japanese studios, but saying you don't like anime is like saying you don't like music or saying you don't like video games. Like um in 2021, because a person that doesn't like video games, say for a reason like because all you doing is shooting everybody, forgets the fact,
mhm.
and this translates over to anime and everything else for that matter, every other piece of media for that matter. Saying you don't like that is ignoring the vastness of it all. Like hip hop is probably the youngest genre of all that we can really mention right now, right? And there's at this point so many subgenres and subgenres within subgenres that saying you don't like it for something as simple as one aspect of it or maybe even a couple aspects of it um just wouldn't make sense because there's so much of it,
Of course.
or a
Now,
spectrum of it rather.
right. Now, of course, I didn't mean to tread upon anime by all means, like I said. I don't know what you call it then, like, what subgenre or whatever, but I don't know. I've watched, snippets here and there of like Naruto, of oh God, what's the one with the pirate ship?
One
A
Piece.
One Piece.
One Piece. I've watched that, not extensively, but I have seen bits in here and there of those shows, and I don't know, it just doesn't, hook me.
Now, I'm gonna be
So
completely honest with you, Johnny. You cannot base anime on One Piece or Naruto alone because
At all.
One Piece has a fan base that only watches One Piece.
Mm-hmm.
Naruto has a fan base that only watches Naruto, and they're gods in anime.
oh no.
To me, a true anime fan watches all anime of all types from different genre because you have the demon ones, you have this like they have soccer and basketball anime shows. They have some that's based on magic. They have some based on medieval times. It's just so much out there that but the popular ones are the ones that people who don't really know about anime will watch those and it would turn them off
Mm-hmm.
because of how campy the shows are.
And then
I
like,
And
see.
it's
Well,
like,
maybe I'm in that camp.
or for
okay, so
example,
go ahead.
just to build on what you just said, the anime that he just mentioned, okay, just that whole spectrum of anime, including like the ones where like somebody's a hero and they got to be the strongest and they're trying to overcome something and so they train and blah. That's all shonen, right? And that all falls under that umbrella. But then there's much different and much deeper things like, for example, the Animatrix. That's literally
Hmm.
90% anime, with the exception of like maybe one or two CGI shorts, right? Um, and it's not like any other, or it's not like any other anime from the outside looking in of a person that really doesn't watch anime that you ever seen. So like within that respect and in that case, I don't know. It's just it's so different and it tells stories in such a different way and it feels different. And there was even like a little anthology series like that of Batman and it had a couple like anime style shorts in it and all
Hmm.
of those were different.
So like for me and for me being, the old head that I am, the first anime I was introduced to was Speed Racer.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
then Johnny Sacco and his giant robot was a show, but then they had an alternative show called Gigantor,
Mm-hmm.
which pretty much was the same story. These are shows, Japanese cartoons from like the 50s and the 60s that they put in America in the 70s. And you know what I'm saying? It's like, so my introduction into anime was completely different than what most people nowadays introduction is, because anime is a popular thing now. It's
Mm-hmm.
like if you're not into anime, then what's wrong with you type stuff right now. It's like everybody watches anime, but the way that they're introduced to it, like I said, is the popular shows right now. Like One Piece has been out since what, the 90s? It has like 900 or some odd, has so many freaking episodes that for you to start from scratch, you'll be watching anime for the next 5 years.
Mm-hmm. It wouldn't even make sense to
Oh,
And
start at this point.
and it's the same thing with Dragon Ball. It's Dragon Ball, Naruto, and One Piece are the three that most people who say that they're in anime watch. You rarely hear anybody, or the newer one, Hunter x Hunter, and like you rarely hear people talk about Black Butler. You rarely hear
Mm-hmm.
people talk about the old anime movies like what was that one me and my brother used to watch? Dark
Ninja
City,
Scroll.
Ninja Scroll. You see what I'm saying? Those, a lot
Mm-hmm.
of those older animes, true anime fans go back and figure out where all this other stuff is coming from because these newer animes are based on some of them, not all of them. Some of them are new stories. Other ones are based on older animes that they pretty much just took a story and they did a spin-off to it. So it's like you'll get into one genre or part of anime and get hooked and don't really want to watch nothing else. And that's your Naruto fans, your One Piece fans, your Dragon Ball, One Punch Man. My daughter lives by. My
Mm-hmm.
oldest daughter lives by One Punch Man. She won't watch any other anime but One Punch Man. It's the only one that's the cosplay she does and everything is One Punch Man. And you have people that's like that. It's like this is my anime, so this is all I'm going to pay attention to.
Mm-hmm.
When it's so much more. And my thing is for you to actually appreciate anime, reading the mangas would be to your benefit.
Mm-hmm.
Just like with a book. Ready Player One book was way better than a movie. The same thing with the mangas. You will actually enjoy anime more if you read the books as well.
hmm.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Shit, Star Wars, the same thing. Have you read the Star Wars books along with that coincide with the movies?
Very
It's
long
way
time
more
ago.
detail in the books than it is into the movie because they only have a short amount of time to put all that into an hour, 2 hour, 3 hour movie.
Way more.
When in a book, you get the backstory is 2 or 3 chapters, and then you start getting to the meat of what the movie was about. But now you have all this other information that you're not going to get from the movies, and you appreciate the characters more.
Yeah, and it's definitely I wholeheartedly agree that it's really more about your exposure to it and how you were exposed to it and kind of what place you were in at the time, because a lot of us it's really like from childhood thing. We saw something that we really got interested in, and then we took a deep dive as we grew up, right? And you write about like the book, like, okay, for example, just bringing it all back to the Star Wars thing. My current love for Star Wars is wholly based off the expanded universe. I did not rewatch the movies. And I've seen all the movies with the exception of the sequel trilogy, like many times. But like my current love for Star Wars and this kick that I'm on right now is literally only about the expanded universe. Some, interest in Legends continuity, some interest in, how the canon is currently, and mostly interest in speculation about how, like, where they're going to take the canon going forward. So yeah,
it's like with me when Return of the Jedi came out when I was a kid. They had so many books that told a story after that.
Yep.
They had kids books, they had adult books, whatever. They have so many books. They, back then, before they had what they have now, where the narrator reads the book to you. What is it? Audiobooks. We used to have the books and had a record that you had to play the record, and the record would read the book to you.
Yeah, it was cassette tapes for us. Yeah,
exactly.
Hey,
so we, so that's how I read. My love for Star Wars came from like with you. My true love for Star Wars came to everything that was outside of the movies. So all the Star Wars books I read, and one thing that really got me that the questions is somewhat being answered now is where Yoda came from, because that was never explained up until recently, and they still don't say what planet he's from. I don't know. You know what? They did mention what planet he's from, but it's like if you're not into the outside of the movie stuff, then you would never know that they have all the Star Wars information out there.
Exactly.
The colors of the lightsabers mean something about the wielder. You know what I'm saying? Dual ended lightsabers mean something.
Exactly.
Grievous having all those lightsabers he had and using them the way he was using, all that stuff means something. But if you don't know the backstories or more in depth about those characters, you would never know why they do what they do or why they did what they did in those movies.
And speaking of Grievous, it looked like everything he did was willy-nilly, but it wasn't. It was based off a lightsaber form.
Exactly. And the thing about it, though, each lightsaber he had, each hand had a different form to that arm. Man. It wasn't just based on him wielding. He was using the skill of the person he killed.
And while we're talking about the books of Legends continuity, Han and Leia's son at that time was way more gangster than Kylo Ren.
Hold on.
Oh, yeah.
Han and Leia had twins.
Oh.
They had twins. That's canon. They had twins. That's what pissed me off about that last set of trilogies, and which I thought they were going to lead up to Kylo Ren and Rey being the kids, and it didn't go that way, which really pissed off a whole lot of people because Luke trained both of them, and then Ben became Kylo, and his sister and him was at odds with each other in the book, and then she ended up going to the dark side as he was coming back over to the light. And then it was that whole storyline. It was due to so much that they're not saying and they're not telling these people. And people are like, "Oh, well, it was a really good action-packed movie." No, it was bullshit.
It was a shadow of what it could have been.
Yeah, and the fact that the original story with Rey, she was supposed to have been Ben's granddaughter, not Palpatine's. And the people on the cutting room floor was like, "You know what? Stupid ass." It would have made way more sense for her to be a Kenobi.
Yep.
Yeah.
Based on everything that went on in the first two movies in that trilogy.
Man, a lot of wasted potential and what ifs there, but you know what? Ultimately, we're not in charge, unfortunately. Although I certainly wish I could write a Star Wars movie. I would definitely give it ago, but
Do it.
you
And
know,
I
don't
think
think,
you should, Johnny. As much knowledge as you have about Star Wars, I think you should.
and I support it. I literally do
I
everything I
would too,
possibly could,
wholeheartedly. I would support it.
down to
And
filming
we
and
find
everything.
some. My cousin's a filmmaker. Actually, he just graduated from LA Film School.
Mm.
We can make some shit happen, bro. Don't play.
For real.
oh gosh,
And like
gotta
on the
go
side of
hunt
that,
me
like
down.
don't think that we just dunking on we are, don't get us wrong, but it's not unfounded, and it's not really us talking about all of current Star Wars as people like to make it sound whenever somebody has these conversations, because like I praise everything that they doing now, everything, like Mandalorian for example.
Man, I was just about to say that.
That's about as perfect as it can get. It gives you that look at the underworld that we're going to get with another show. It sort of gives you the intrigue of the Jedi, and it shows you that despite how the movies make it seem, and despite how a lot of other Star Wars media makes it seem, to see a Jedi in the galaxy is a rare thing. You have to be at the right place in the right time, or somewhere in their business. It's not really just a everyday everybody's running around with lightsabers type of thing. And so like
Now, in that same vein, I do believe that the Mandalorian was their tester to deleting or ignoring that last trilogy, because
Yep.
it takes place after Return of the Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, back when the New Republic still had control,
Exactly.
at
So
least in theory.
for them to keep it and admit that Bad Batch is not canon, for them to make movies that's not canon but based on what's currently going on, because a Bad Batch takes place after, well, during the second,
In
what is it,
between 3 and 4.
in between 3 and 4. So for this storyline to be going on, and plus they're introduced Boba Fett, you know what I'm saying, and just everything is going to him having his own show. It's just like for them to build movies around what's currently going on in the universe and still have all those untapped stories that they haven't even touched. It is so much that can happen in the Star Wars universe right now.
Oh yeah, like I
Exactly.
no,
They could do a whole series of sets of movies based on that alone.
well maybe they're gonna test how the remake does. But I would just like to point out, I don't know if I've said this on one of the previous episodes or not, but I feel like it's an opinion or observation that needs to be stated because a lot of people are getting very excited about the KOTOR remake. And whilst, yeah, and whilst I'm kind of there because it was at its core a pretty interesting game. I will just say it is a remake and not a remaster, okay? So
Mm-hmm.
changes will be made, and I think if you're a diehard Revan fan, like a lot of people tend to be, you may end up being disappointed, and I would just say don't be surprised.
Mm.
And that's why I'm the type of person to take a movie, because I've learned the hard way that if you look at a movie based on where it came from, or the previous movie that it's supposed to be, like with sequels, I can never watch a sequel based on what I saw in the first movie because I was disappointed too many times.
Mm.
I take the movie for what it is and watch it for what it is, and then instead of comparing it to what it was supposed to be a continuation of.
Yeah. In
And that way,
comparison,
if it's a great movie, it's a great movie on its own, and it makes sense for it to be a sequel. If it's trash, then it was just a trash movie on its own, and I can't blame whoever made the first one for this one being crap. So
I'll give you this. Comparison and theorizing is one of my most favorite and treasured nerd activities, right? But that's the thing, it's a nerd activity. It's meant for the fans. And these things, while, it's best for, in my opinion, for them to be made by fans, and in the case of Star Wars, it's starting to be true. And while, you know, it's a thing that we enjoy like that, and we are like the diehards for it. It's not really just for us. You know what I mean? Like, you got to share your toys with your little brother, and
Mhm.
like as a community, that's something that people kind of have to understand, and as diehards, that's something that you kind of have to understand. Um, they glad you love it. They glad you enjoy it. It's just as much for you as it is for them. But on the flip side, it's just as much for them as it is for you. So like while it's fun to theorize and all of that stuff, we can't get mad when we wrong, or we can't get mad when something goes in a direction we don't think it should or whatever, unless like unless it's far enough left, and far enough out of that direction where it just does not make logical sense as a self-contained thing and as a
Hence
story.
that last Star Wars movie.
Exactly.
Somehow, Palpatine has returned. Are we going to explain it? No.
Nope.
Hmm.
We
And
And
you know,
needed a
Palpatine was so
cop-out.
pretty much you're telling me how he got a granddaughter. He was just knocking down random chicks across the galaxy.
and you know the best, like one of them clones escaped and just started hitting
You feel
everything.
me?
Like, and you know the greatest and really honestly the only way to do an effective twist, an effective plot twist, is to leave that trail of breadcrumbs. It has to be something where there's a reason that we theorize, because if the story is made right, somebody is going to be able to deduce at least a piece of what's going to happen.
Exactly.
And so if they don't leave that some type of hint, some type of clue, some type of, oh well, Palpatine was working on something, blah blah, we don't know what it was, or here's a dude that's known for clone technology, here's a Camino in out of nowhere, or whatever there is, you know, that you could add to say that there's at least a hint that this thing might happen, then it seems to blindside the audience, and there's that dissonance there, and nothing makes sense.
Just like with
Absolutely.
a Bad Batch. I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but it's things that take place in a Bad Batch that if it took place in that movie would make a hell of a lot more sense.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. I did like that they kind of overlapped it with Revenge of the Sith. Obviously,
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean that's not a spoiler. I mean like just like they overlapped it in season 7 a bit as well.
Yeah.
I like that. It's like it's giving me not like context, but it's tying in the stories and they're not just separate anymore.
Yes.
Exactly.
But man, if I can just quickly address that cloning point, my gosh, I love the fact that in the movie he says it's like cloning the like secrets only the Sith knew. Yet, just a couple decades prior, the Galactic Republic had a clone army
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
and multiple, run by the Kaminoans, who were an independent group. Sure, Palpatine commissioned their army, but it's not like they were a Sith organization. So just shout out to them.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they didn't even watch the sequels, or the prequels rather.
Yeah.
I bet you that they were an OT crowd.
And it's
Whoever
not
wrote
like the
the
whole not like the whole Senate was voting against an army. You know what I mean? It's not like the whole Senate voted against having more soldiers when they needed them.
hmm hmm
So it
bam,
clearly wasn't just
so much.
Palpatine.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
right.
Palpatine had that wrench in they mechanics though. He was like, "Well, let me add this little feature right here just
Yeah.
so
Oh yeah.
Let me just let's just add this to your brain. Just
yeah,
what's that? Nothing. Don't worry about it. Don't we ain't even gonna
don't
need it.
worry
Don't worry
about
about
that."
it.
The
Man.
thing I enjoy about Palpatine's rise to power is the fact that there were so many things that could have instantly undone his plans.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
for instance, I think this may be a season 6 thing, but there's a plot line in season 6 of Clone Wars. Easily could have unraveled all of his manipulations. Did you get to see the Zillo Beast episodes yet, Dallas? I believe that's like season 1 or 2, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so like, the King Kong knockoff
Yeah.
easily could have gotten Palpatine there. I mean, like, there you go. He'd be gone, stomped. But just he was not impenetrable. Like a lot of things could have easily undone it, or like Maul even. He was kicking around. He had a grudge, to say the least. So
Mm-hmm.
uh, it wasn't a completely one-sided affair. It was a close race, and I like that. Because is there any fun when the villain is just like too OP?
Yeah, I mean, it can be, yes, but um, I think people forget that Palpatine wasn't the only person in the galaxy with ambitions, and
Exactly.
Hmm.
he wasn't the only person out here trying to do something like. And then just by nature of the Sith, there has to be somebody else like coming at your neck anyway. Just by nature of the
Yeah.
rule of two and the fact that somebody's going to attempt to break it. By nature of the fact that you have to train an assassin, and you have to they basically have to grow and train with the understanding, or at least with the false belief that they are to be a Sith Lord. Otherwise, why would you give them the name Darth? Because you're not really one. If it wasn't that, like, just by nature of that, there's going to be that conflict, and there's going to be some people who are trying to grow to the level of that master, or grow to the level of whoever we see as the main antagonist.
Mhm.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
thinking about that and Palpatine's rise to power and Vader's rise to power, if I honestly believe if it never came to fruition that his kids were alive and Luke was just another cat,
Mm-hmm.
I think he could have won that whole thing. He got soft when he realized Luke was his son, and then when he found out about Leia, he got even softer.
Mm-hmm.
So
I
it
don't
was
know,
more
man.
I
about
He cut
do
his.
off his
think
head.
I
Say that
do
again.
think that weakness was also a strength, because he wouldn't have killed Palpatine, or at least attempted to kill him, if it wasn't for that. I think because he got kind of swatted down so much over the years, and he was kind of so depressed over the years over how stuff turned out, that I don't think he would have had the will for it if it wasn't for the fact that he realized he had kids alive.
But what I'm saying is the dark side was stronger in him when he had the depression, when
Mm,
he was going through the fact that
Oh
he killed Padme. You see what I'm saying?
yeah.
It made him a stronger Sith. But then once he
yeah.
was like, "Oh, hold on, I know that all that happened, but I got kids now, bro. Hold on, let me reevaluate my life." You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And then it was like, "Yeah, I'm still evil. Okay, let me try to get Junior to come over with us, and then we can take over." Because his plan was to take over Palpatine anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But he
Such a
wanted to do it with Luke, and then when Luke was like, "Nah, I'm good," he was like, "You know what? He didn't have no intentions on killing that boy.
Yeah, he didn't.
He did cut off his hand though.
That was an
Yeah, it's,
accident.
it's
That
Star
was a slip.
Wars. It's a Star Wars. Everybody's got a
Yeah, Luke
cybernetic
had his
something.
hand out there too long. That was his fault.
He was like,
He
"You
felt
supposed to
that's the
make
reason why when he fell down the thing or whatever, he stood there for a minute like, damn, I didn't mean to do that.
man, like, quit crying, boy. You know I had to make it look real."
I wonder how many incidents pre-Order 66 there were of just like the very first training with the live lightsaber at the temple. How many people lost hands?
That's all that happened. Some Twi'lek lost a head tail somewhere.
A
Head tail, you stupid. Now I don't think
oh
they was
god,
using actual lightsabers. I think probably the Siths were, but I think the Jedi's was using little sticks like they do in the ninja classes. See how many times you get hit before you learn to duck.
Oh man.
oh oh no, they do. If you remember, there's a scene in Attack of the Clones when Obi-Wan goes to see Yoda and he's with the younglings. They're just like, moving their little lightsabers around with the little flying
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
asteroid thing. They're using real sabers, so
but they're not
caution.
going against each other though.
Yeah, they Padawans do get trained in sabers though. Um like,
Yeah.
before they actually build their own, they do get their little training sabers. So it makes sense.
That's why Lil Man went up against the troopers in the last one.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Remember, little
George
teenager,
Lucas.
he was about 12. He went out there and was whooping their ass, and then he ended up shooting them.
Man,
Yep.
did them dirty. Like, that's not
He
funny,
was
but that's
G'd
really
up. He had the
funny.
little Anakin ponytail in his head and everything. Like, what's
Man,
good?
like, I'm gonna get it. Like, I don't blame him neither. Like, if I'm finna go out, I'm finna go out fighting.
Exactly.
Not even the younglings survived.
No. He
But
put out his
man,
saber. You know,
oh
chop chop.
gosh. You know what? I mean, it's a very sad state of affairs when, having to watch George Lucas's son 1v10 some clone troopers, but I guess that's what happens when you try to overthrow the democratically elected Supreme Chancellor for life.
Right. You played
But
yourself.
For life though.
for life, for life. But man, we can go all night about Star Wars if we really wanted to, but you know, believe it or not, there are other things we can talk about out there. And one of them I wanted to talk about is our good friend Mr. Doja here. He's a bit of a musician.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
So,
man, little something, something.
yeah, so can you please tell our audience a little bit about what you've been up to in the musical world this past, little while?
Well, I recently started doing live performances. I did my first live performance in over ever
Mhm.
a long time in Denver last week for the Gore Fest. It was a festival that goes on in Denver every year. Um, so I got a chance to re-soak my feet into the stage uh, platform of performing.
Mhm.
And actually, I ironically, in a freak of nature incident last night, a friend of mine threw her boyfriend a birthday party, and I was asked to perform there. So I did a live performance last night,
Mm.
um, impromptu. But and you know what? It was funny is that it's easier for me to perform in front of people I don't know than to perform in front of people that I know.
Oh man, that's the you don't even know. That's how it goes. Like
It was just weird. I was like, why the hell am I nervous? I know all if you say something slick, I'm slapping everybody, you know. So
because you can let loose and you don't have to worry about what they like, how they think or how they feel, because I mean you ain't never seeing them again.
exactly, yeah. So and then next weekend I'm gonna be in Dallas's neck of the woods doing a show. Madness and Mayhem is going on in Fort Worth
Let the people
area
know.
next weekend.
Let the people know what venue and what those ticket prices are.
Oh yeah, but please.
Oh, see, there you ask some questions and I ain't got the answers to offhand. Hold on.
Oh, man, we got time. We'll tweet it out.
Oh yeah,
Let me pull that up right quick. Hold on.
Yeah, man.
because Mr. Doja here, very talented musician, and he definitely deserves your patronage.
Mm-hmm.
So it's $15 per day at the door, $25 for a 2-day pass. It's a Friday and Saturday event. And it's
Okay.
gonna be at the Haltom Theater in Haltom City, Texas.
Oh, you might be closer to me than I thought.
See?
Okay.
Oh, well, if you're in that neck of the woods, ladies and gentlemen, please
And it
be
says
sure.
all ages, but be parentally advised that I do talk shit on the
Mm-hmm.
microphone. And other people are a lot worse than I am. I found that out the hard way at the Gore Fest. They have babies in there, bro. I was surprised.
Oh
Like,
no.
you really brought
Yeah,
your
man.
baby to a mosh pit? Okay.
Yeah, man. It's crazy. That's how that's how you get a dent in their head. But it's all good. You know I'm gonna ask you all this information again. I'm not
Oh,
gonna
yeah, no
retain this
doubt, no doubt. I
information.
got you. Cause yeah, you supposed to be coming through. So,
Yeah, man.
but but yeah, man. So I got this last song I was on. It was my boy Spec One has a song called Pendulum Swing that's out now, and I'm featured on that. We did a video. It's up on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Grim Reality is the label that I'm with, Grim Reality Entertainment. So it's on their YouTube channel. Um, I got merchandise on their website and things for that, grimreality.net. So plug that. But I got my album supposed to be coming out in December. My first album on this label. I got a single coming out next month. Um, again, I got the show coming up next week. So I'm working, man. I got a whole lot going on. Um, and then my advice to any and everybody, regardless on how old you are, how young you are, if you got a dream, follow it.
Yeah, man. For real.
You know, and
Absolutely.
it's the key to that is having a hell of a support system because you got parents that support their kids through all their goals to being in the NFL, and they never make it, and they give up on it, and you don't. Maybe you weren't meant to be a player in the NFL. Maybe you was supposed to be somebody to do the chain gang or somebody who flipped a little um, the down markers. Maybe that's your job, but you still in the NFL. You feel me? Don't just because you're not a star athlete in the NFL, maybe you can be a sports trainer in the NFL.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? They don't necessarily have to be a player.
And the kicker
You feel me?
is, a lot of times, whatever you end up doing works out better for you than it originally would have had you got what you thought you wanted.
That part. So, like I said, what I've said it in the past, my goal in this music thing is not. I've already achieved my goal on what I wanted to do, getting back into music. So all this extra stuff I'm doing, all these shows I'm doing, and selling merchandise and this, that, and the other. This is, the candy on top of the ice cream. These are the sprinkles. You know what I'm saying? Everything I set out to do as far as my goals concerned when I was a kid, I've already achieved it. I have no plans of being a multimillionaire. If it happens, again, that's more sprinkles on the top of the ice cream. So, I'm just living in the limelight right now, bro, and just still amazed about everything that's going on and the amount of support that I'm getting, and the fact that, what I'm saying, that us cats, over 30 is doing what them rockers been doing for years or whatever. Man, it was people at that fest, dudes like Patreons, or patrons. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Anyway, they was
Yeah.
there in the audience, but it was people in their 60s and 70s listening to us rap. You feel me? They had all the little they had the merchandise on and the necklaces and the face paint and the whole nine, dude. I was like, I
Oh
was
man.
surprised. I was surprised, dude. It was just like the amount of support, young and old. The youngest person in there, I think, was 15. Well, besides the baby that somebody brought, but 15, and the oldest person was 72, and they're partying, listening to rap music in the middle of the crowd with their hands up, bobbing their head, dude. I was like, bro, this shit don't have no age on it.
72 and
She
doing the
was said the
whole
lady. It was a female. It was a lady. She was 72 years old, bro, and they're listening to rap with her face paint on and fake devil horns and the whole nine.
Oh
Well, you can
man.
certainly color me surprised.
To see it though. To
Oh
see
yeah,
it though. It was people in there, every shape, color, creed, you name it, they were in there. And they was everybody's, wasn't hugging and kissing because COVID, but everybody was in there having a hell of a good time. And I was like, this is what music is supposed to do, bring people together, dude. And I was just like, yes, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. This is my purpose. So,
Yeah, man.
Man, that's the stuff right there. Now,
yes, sir.
obviously, like Kiddo said before, follow your dreams. I always wanted to be like a voice actor or like something to do with that. And let me just tell you, well, it's important to follow your dreams, but you know what? You also got to realize when to quit. And I don't think I have the voice for it. I'll be
Nah,
You
honest.
man.
do. You
Stop
do.
playing.
I can see you can be an Alfred.
Oh.
I can see you voicing a character like Alfred.
Which one?
Pennyworth.
Can you do a can you do a
I'm not. Yeah,
English
I'm
accent?
not familiar.
No,
Maybe it was some training.
what I'm saying is, because for instance, the person that voiced Bart Simpson forever was a female and nobody ever knew it.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're the way that you're looking at it, I feel you're doing yourself a disservice because you will never know if it's what you're supposed to be doing until you try it.
For real.
So with all the Star Wars stuff that you are into and the stuff that you do, you can easily take a animation thing, like people do it all the time. Take an anime or a cartoon of Star Wars or whatever, mute the thing out, put your own voice over the words that you want them to say, upload that shit on YouTube and see what happens.
No
And
lie.
then,
And it all comes down to like, at the very least, trying. Like you really gotta like put your foot in it and really give your all to like. And if it don't come out the way you think it should, great, because everybody sucks in the beginning. Just keep working at it. Like I don't really think, especially voice acting for you. Like I think that's a thing you can pull off. I think you got the brain for it. Yeah.
You got the voice for it too. You just don't understand. Like we've had this conversation before, Johnny. Your voice is a voice that you can listen to for hours just to hear you talk. You never go up or down an octave. Your voice is, but
Oh, we talked about that today. I was like,
Huh?
we talked about that today. Back when we thought he was gonna be doing this show solo, I was like, nah, man, I hear you're gonna be on there, Super Talk Radio, like for real.
'Cause, like I've said it before, when Johnny does video game streaming and he's just talking about the game, I'll sit there and watch this man play video games without a picture of him on the screen for hours. And I'm interested in hell. It's like, what he's gonna do next?
Oh,
Are they
check
gonna
this
attack
out.
there? And he was like, okay, we're gonna go. Oh, that
Check
didn't
this
work out.
out.
We're gonna try this again. It is interesting in hell, man. You don't understand,
Our
bro.
boy Flames got a good idea, and if you were down, if you happen to be down, Johnny, I would produce and edit this just so you could act in it. Star
Oh
Wars
my gosh.
Abridged. Legitimately,
I've
and we'll
really
put it out on Level 1 Gaming if it happens to be, something that we think is good. I would produce and edit it, and all I would want from you is to act in it and to sit down and help me write it.
That sounds cool. We may have to look into this.
Mm-hmm.
I do a voice too if it ain't nothing but a frigate driver.
Hell yeah.
I'm down.
Hell yeah. We'll get the whole crew, everybody that's doing anything or wants to do anything, and we'll sit down and we'll figure it out. Like, we'll just get us a little writing team, and then once we bang out a nice little story for what we have, we'll start recording it. We can do that over
Dude,
Discord.
that'll be some dope ass content for level 1 too on a weekly basis.
For real. I've been trying to I've been trying to do something like that for a while. And since Johnny's already interested and we sitting here to talk about it, we could be about it.
Oh man, can you imagine like it's just like a classic Star Wars cantina with some, non-copyright jazz music in the background. And in the films it's called something very similar to jazz, but this is a PG show. But yeah.
But my
And
thing
then
too with those,
have
the
that
people
strumming in the background. Yeah.
that do the voice of like the guy that does the voiceovers for the X-Men shows, he uses the theme music from the actual show, but the way that his hashtags and his, I don't own the rights to the music stuff word, he don't have to worry about copywriting. He don't worry about it not being monetized on Instagram. I mean on YouTube.
And our channel's not even monetized anyway, so it won't even matter.
Oh, look at that. Here I am trying to be all safe and stuff and corporate, but
We'll figure it out.
alas.
We just want you to follow your dream.
Yeah.
So whatever we got to do to make
Exactly.
that happen.
Man, yeah, we'll have to talk about that, afterwards.
I think that'll
but-
be dope.
Hell yeah. And yeah, we can definitely talk about this one because I think we should actually do it for real.
Hey, and we can get Flameser to get on there too and have he can be one of the generals for the Empire. You know, they always have that foreign accent. There we go.
Man, Flames act like he's scared of the mic.
Oh,
Hell yeah,
Oh,
man,
boy.
come on with it. And we could, I think there's a lot of people at level 1 who do something that we could involve in this. Like there's a lot of us. So I actually already have a short list in my head, but I think just off the bat, we should get together and write it and see what we come up
Flame said,
with.
"Who's scared?"
Man, come on
Never
with
scared.
it.
I'm man.
but so with that being said, though, what do you think? Would I make it as a radio commentator for like the weather at like 10 p.m.?
Yes.
Here's my little audition for you guys. So, folks, it's looking a little bit cloudy this evening, but about a 40% chance of rain. So be sure to watch out if you're on the freeway this evening. And that looks like over in Toronto, it's a mighty storm blowing in. So, make sure you Canucks are, taking care out there. Bam. Get
There
that
you
sent
go.
over to like whatever it's called, local media station here, and bam, I
Dude,
can do
if
nightly
you
weather.
can hear the talk radio that we have here in the States, like especially in LA, they have the late night talk people to be on there. That's the only spot they can get or whatever. You're already taking a spot right now with that little clip you just did.
Mm-hmm.
They
And all
have
you
to
gotta
have the
do is
little
keep pushing
dun,
and
dun,
keep
dun
doing it.
in between everything they say. They got to do the news every, tell the weather every 10 minutes.
I think once we
Oh,
done,
gosh,
we actually do this. Well, by the time we done with it, you're gonna be ready, and you can use it as a part of your reel to get you like some type of position.
Exactly.
man, and this just all ties in. Follow your dreams, ladies and gentlemen.
That's what level 1 gaming is. Like, literally, for the most part, it's writers, reviewers, and people who want to do something strictly like within the gaming space or gaming entertainment space, right? More people want the podcast. We expanded the podcast. Fine, it's a win-win because we needed that anyway for the content, right? When it comes down to it, I already got an interest in producing shows and stuff like that. That because I can literally use everything I already do. I can use my music, my engineering, my editing, all of that together. And just to know that there's somebody here that would be interested in putting together a project like that is literally still a win-win for everybody. And once again, that's what Level 1 Gaming is here for anyway. So yeah, let's make something.
Absolutely, man.
And you know, as a rapper, my next step is to do acting anyway. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a progression.
Oh, it's gonna be so dope.
I mean, do it, get rich or die trying.
Dead trend.
Oh
Man.
gosh.
Hey, have y'all heard Baron's Charlie Murphy voice?
Oh,
Oh,
Man, that shit's so
Oh.
A1. Like,
bro.
that shit is
Oh,
so
man.
A1.
Just do not let him do a British accent. Oh,
What was that? What is the thing that they always be trying to say about Wa'a?
oh,
Oh shit. Hey Flames, if you ever wanted to get on the mic or get on camera, man, I got a good episode we could do. For real.
Oh yeah.
I got a good one in my head that we could actually do. So let me know if you actually ever wanted to show your face, man. We can make that happen.
Oh god.
Some
We
real
just do a
shit too. Hey, I would love to have Flames do a skit on my album too.
Man.
Calling people buggers and
Bugger. Oh, bugger off. Oh man.
Bunch of
Oh,
tossers.
okay,
bunch
okay,
of
Flames.
tosses, exactly.
Flames, okay, man. We'll stop. We'll quit taking the piss.
Oh gosh.
Oh man. What is wrong with us?
I don't know.
But you know what? With that being said, I am just so glad that the people at Level 1, the audience, that means, they get to see my face on the screen right now. Look at me, right in the middle there.
It looks exactly like him, y'all.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Yoda can attest.
it does look just like him.
Mine looked like me, like before my beard grew a little bit. I might make a slightly bearded one, but I feel like he'll look like a cartoon F-boy. So I don't know, maybe I won't.
Oh gosh.
And that's just my logo. That's my brother in there, so it's not me. So
Oh man.
you want to see my face? Go to YouTube, check out my videos.
Oh yeah.
Or
If
come
you
to a
YouTube.com
live
slash
show.
what?
Huh?
YouTube.com slash what?
Mr. Doja for my other videos, but the newer stuff is on Grim Reality Entertainment.
So go to both.
But yeah, Mr. Doja music. Well, no, I changed it just Mr. Doja's name. Mr. Doja music no more. It's just Mr. Doja.
All right. Go to both.
I got
Because
like-
with all respect to GRE, we only care about it because we care about Mr. Doja. So literally support both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just about to say, if you do end up going to his channel and not the GRE channel, Oldhead,
Mm-hmm.
honestly, like my favorite.
Oh, hey, thump you on your forehead.
See what I'm saying? Johnny, he make me want to. That only reason I still be like that song is because Johnny like it.
Oh man, like I will always bring it up.
Something you need to know, Johnny.
That's
Something,
but like,
something you need to know about us as artists, especially as music artists. We hate our old shit because it embarrasses us. Especially if there's been some type of growth between that point and our next thing. It's kind of embarrassing to go back and listen to our old stuff, right? So,
but with that album itself, most of the music on that album was older music that I was trying to put out when I was originally trying to get in the game. And I just updated it and put it out. Like Old Head was written in 2007 and didn't get released till last year. You know what I'm saying? So it's an older song. It's nowhere the person I'm rapping. Again, I'm not saying it was a bad song. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? A lot of material on that album, except for like 4 songs. There's 12 songs on the album, so 4 songs were newer songs.
Hey,
Everything else
man.
was an older song that I was trying to put out.
Listen, I got a song that's literally like I'm on the verge of being married, and I have a song that's probably going on either this current project or the next one because I just like the song and the bar is just kind of fire. That's literally about convincing a girl to have a threesome. Like, and so and literally not anywhere at where I'm at right now. But
True that, Flames.
this was written in like 2012, 2013, you know what I mean? And I know somebody's gonna feel it anyway. Somebody that is at that stage is gonna be like, man, you got a point. Like,
But just like the song on my album Can't Stop the Bum Rush,
Mhm.
I won a talent show with that song in 1991.
oh man.
Yeah.
Oh man, Flames is right. Music is timeless.
So, but my thing too, in the same vein, I've been saying it for years that why don't hip hop artists get treated the way the rock stars do? It's starting to happen more so now, but it's mainly because they're touring and stuff. It's only a handful of artists that was out in the 80s or 90s that can put out an album now and make any money.
You know what though?
You know what I'm saying?
When you look at those rappers, what do you see? When you look at those rappers, there's a big difference between those and the others. They have, in one way or another, a lot of times through like those endorsements, those ads, and just being seen right next to a company. I'm looking at Run DMC when I say that. A lot of times, like they've kind of embedded themselves in pop culture in one way or another, right?
Yeah.
And in that way, it doesn't even like people don't think about, oh, that song is old. People don't think about, oh, that person is old. They just think about, oh, damn, that's the Beastie Boys. You know what I mean? Or, oh, damn, that's my people. And in that way, like we're starting to learn that more. Like the current generation, the last generation, like the trap music generation, the original trap music generation, all of these people are starting to learn that now. And even if they do it within their bubble, they starting to make that move to sort of that legendary status that they deserve as seasoned artists.
Exactly. Because, like, I think about it like this. Like, most people under 30 don't know that Ice-T is a rapper.
Yep.
He's a
And
rapper?
They thought he was a detective.
Most people, because he's been doing SVU for 21 years. But, and a lot of people musically know him from Body Count. They don't know him for being a gangster rapper. Because Body Count's been touring since they've been a group. And that was what, in the mid to late 90s, 80s, or early 90s when they started doing Body Count. I think it was. But he has a lot of his following is behind. But again, he raps in Body Count. He's not a singer, he's a rapper.
Yep.
But it's heavy metal music that he's rapping over.
Oh, so damn, he been doing that for that long too.
He been doing that for a long time. Damn. That's what I'm saying. That's the music stuff he's been doing. But like he did a song recently. They had a some kind of thing that came out recently where they had all these rappers do a verse and they spread it out or split it up into different videos. But it's like 20 different rappers. And Ice-T was on there rapping and stuff, and people was like, "Oh, Ice-T is a rapper." Like, what? What, you think his real name is Ice-T? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, bruh, he has a stage name. He's been had a stage name. Stage name came from being on stage. But it's like, but I said that to say this. It's a lot of Run DMC, perfect example too. It's a lot of artists who stayed relevant because the circle that they stayed in was whatever that niche was that got them to that star status.
Yep.
Like Run DMC, DMC's biggest thing, in which I don't know if you guys know that he writes, he has a comic book series.
Yep.
So he has that audience. He has his rap audience. He has his acting audience because he acted also in a few movies. But a lot of people, like, especially like, you know, people my age, we hear his voice and we recognize it, but don't recognize it because it changed so much over the years. But we still know that's DMC.
Yep.
Rev Run is a reverend. Now he don't really do rap music no more, but at the same time, he's gonna always be the no shoestring Adidas wearing, hat, leather jacket cat from my childhood.
Yeah. For
One
real.
of the reasons why I started rapping in the first place. So, like
Man,
I
I
don't know
remember
if you
wearing shoes
guys,
with no lace.
man, they started got then the shoe companies got smart and started putting elastic inside so you didn't need the shoelace.
Mm-hmm.
So, but like Curtis Blow, he has that hip hop Nutcracker thing that he puts out every year. That was one of the best musicals I've ever watched in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like that's Curtis Blow, but a lot of people don't realize that Curtis Blow's been rapping since like the late 70s.
Another, I guess, a little more modern than Curtis Blow. Example of like painting a picture with your words yearly that I really mess with. I know y'all know Skills wrap up.
Man skills?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, his wrap ups, man. I remember when I first got put on one of those, and then I would like it would be a point like every year I gotta hear the wrap up. Like I already know what he about to put in it throughout the year. You like I bet that's gonna be in the wrap up, and then for after a while he stopped. He went from mad skills to skills, and he did a couple more, and then he stopped.
Yep.
And then I
And then
think he
what's it
did.
called? It picked it up. Uncle Murder picked it up.
Really, I haven't heard those.
Yeah, he's been doing them since 2016. What is this? 2021? Yeah, he's done 4. Been doing it since 2016.
Man, and then
He does one every year for the
I,
past 4 years.
I'm gonna go look those up because wrap ups is my shit.
And his joints be like 20 minutes long.
Oh man.
Man, he'll put snippets on Instagram, but then you go to YouTube, listen to the whole thing. It's like 20 minutes long.
Oh yeah, that's up my alley. I need that. Like Skills, I think he did one in 2020 or 2021. One of those.
I think he did do one last year because I think that's when I got back. Because I forgot because when I lived in Virginia, him and freaking, when Timberland then first jumped off or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But Skills was the man in Richmond, man. I swear, Skills was the man. It's like if you was into music and you want to listen to Mad Skills, you wasn't into music.
Yeah, man. Ghostwriter. And for the right price, he can even make your shit tighter.
Him and there was a dude that called Eka Mouse.
I feel like I know that name, but I don't know their music.
Yeah, they from that they came up with
Eka Mouse.
with Skills in them in Virginia.
That's like Tom and Jerry bars all over it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But like I said, it's having a solid support system behind you, being it a homie or being it a significant other, being it a parent, a child. It makes all the difference in your dream coming to fruition, and you actually even touching or obtaining any portion of what you got going on or want to go on. So
yeah, it's a much needed thing. Like it's so much harder to as they say, get it out the mud. It feels like getting it out the mud when you don't have that support system.
Exactly.
But just one homie could turn that around for you. Just one person encouraging you and being like, "Man, go for that." If they like something, be like, tell them, letting you know that they like it, and if they don't, letting you know with constructive criticism where it can improve. And if they don't know like that, if they don't have that expertise, trying to connect you to somebody who does that goes a long way. And I've been seeing it so much more lately that I feel like me and everybody around me should be on that same thing.
Exactly. That's why I said my circle was small, bro. My circle was really small of people that I actually mess with because, it's good to be around like-minded people. It may not be the same specific thing that you guys are like-minded about, but, like I say, everybody who I dealt with in level 1, everybody got that hustle mentality.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody's on that grind to get everybody's trying to get to that point, man. Everybody trying to get to that point. Everybody's moving and hustling, trying to get to that point. This is what I want to do, and I'm not gonna stop until I reach that.
Exactly.
Feel me? So I think that's same thing with Johnny Man here. The stuff that he's when I first met Johnny, the stuff he's doing now was stuff he was talking about, and now he's doing it. You know what I'm saying? The podcast thing or whatever. We had conversations about that. Then they started doing it, and it's a consistent thing.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I'm proud of my boy, man. Johnny, man, you just don't understand, bro. I got your back, son.
Yeah, man.
I do appreciate that, and I can say I do remember those talks. I always wanted to do a podcast, and I'm very glad that we're here doing it now.
Even with the gaming, the streaming thing or whatever, granted, nobody really does it as often as they want to, but anytime Dallas jumps on, his shit is off the chain to me. When Johnny jumps on, it's off the chain. When Baron used to jump on, it's off the chain to me. But it's like it's not just because y'all my boys, it's because you guys are actually good at what you do. You guys actually make y'all streams and y'all podcasts interesting. It's not you just sitting here talking about random shit. It always veers off into something else.
Yeah, man. For Johnny to not be on camera and
Exactly.
still be able to hold.
Never seen this man face on camera, but dude, I swear, anytime he jumps online, I may not let him know I'm in there, but I'm lurking.
I told him we got to see, like, we got to make sure at least once, even if it's got to be behind the scenes. I get it if you're not trying to be out loud in public like that, but man, you got to show yourself to us at least so we know that you're not just empire propaganda.
No, I've seen Johnny one time.
Yeah,
On camera.
he called. I remember this. He called me out because I got like handed like a slice of pizza or something in the middle of that, whatever it
Yeah.
was.
Yep.
Oh
Yep.
gosh, man, those were
So,
the good old days.
man. So it's like if you've never seen Johnny, you can just imagine what he looks like, but he looks nothing like he sounds.
Oh man, now I'm curious.
I'm telling you, wait, Dallas, when you finally see him, dude, you gonna be like, "That's Johnny," and not in a bad way, but it's just like that's Johnny. You know what I'm saying? It's just he's a smooth operator, man. Yeah, lady killer, man. You don't understand.
Well,
Johnny
Johnny,
is
you had my curiosity, but now you have my attention.
Johnny
I
is a
don't.
young Zach Morris, man. I'm telling you.
That's how I feel like Flame's about to be. Like when we finally actually see this man face and hear his voice, he gonna be like, man,
No, I
Doctor,
can
who the hell are
guarantee you,
you?
Flames look like a young Jason Statham. Watch.
But he black though.
Hey, Vin Diesel is half black. He looked like a light skinned. You know what I'm saying?
Man, you saw
Flames
talking
are
about Flames
black.
gonna
Hold
look like
on,
really?
wait, backtrack. Flames is black.
Yeah,
Oh, he a brother, huh?
yeah, man.
Hey,
Oh,
well,
gosh,
okay, I take a young Idris Alba then. There we go.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know if you're
He
either
said
of you
he is
guys
dark as
Yeah, he
Dallas.
gonna be
You are
cause I
black.
can.
Let me stop way on camera.
Cause I can.
oh gosh. But I don't know if either of you guys are betting men, but who do you think's actually gonna appear on camera first? Me
Oh
or
man,
Mr. Flames?
I think it's more likely to be you than Flames, cause he been
think
dodging
so,
for a
too.
long. He won't even get on voice chat. Like
He don't
been
want us
dodging
to
for
do.
so
Hey,
long.
look, he won't get on voice chat because he know we gonna ask him to say random shit in that accent.
But look though, you know we gonna make fun of you anyway, whether we hear you or not, right? It's like we gonna have jokes anyway, whether or not. And then we at least the type of people who, if you say it's too much, we'll stop. So like,
I won't. I ain't gonna bullshit you. I start singing them damn songs from Get 'Em to the Greek that Russell Brand was singing. And
Oh
then talk
shit!
about bangers and mash, bro. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. I will make your life uncomfortable. You'll probably unfriend me like a mug, bro. Never share my content again, bro.
Oh man!
But it's all in love, though. It's all in love.
Bangers
Oh,
and man.
I just want it known for the record. I'm not part of that.
Oh
I
snap!
don't.
I have
But
so many British. All my questions literally are just about British TV. Like, I have a lot
Bro, I
of
found
media
out
questions.
that they have a like a TV tax out there, bro.
this is
They
true.
do.
Yeah, if you own a television, you got to pay a tax or something like that.
That's
Tell me
weird.
I'm lying, Flames. Tell me I'm lying.
All right, Gov, you ain't paying your license this month, are we?
Oh.
You don't want to be letting down the
come-
queen now, are we?
Oh snap! I feel like I can only
Oh,
actually.
he said to watch channels. So if you got a TV, you're just gonna play Xbox. You don't need to have
Oh
the
okay.
tax. Okay, for sure.
Oh yeah,
So
I'm
get you a
definitely
fire stick, you straight.
for real. Oh
All right, yeah, you
exactly.
can. You can play Xbox, but you can't watch EastEnders.
And then you don't have Lifetime. You have Lifetime.
Like damn. Okay, so Flame said he's been waiting on those movie nights. Man, I got you.
Oh yeah.
I've been moving and dealing with a bunch of stuff. And at some point I'm gonna tell everybody what's been going on, and then y'all gonna be like, oh, I understand. But it's going to be one of these times, it's going to be one of these weekends. I really do got you. I literally have a whole list of things to watch. And we'll probably start with the movie that me and Cognito was talking about this past Friday, Chocolate, just because the choreography is just so fire.
What is
So
it, a Black Honey?
nah, it's like like it's 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 a martial arts movie about this girl that's like autistic. She's a savant, and she ends up like learning a bunch of martial arts moves from like watching movies and watching the gym next to her, and then ends up having a reason to use these moves.
Every black kid in LA, bruh.
Man,
I
man.
wasn't autistic, and I got my ass whooped, but I tried the karate moves.
Yeah, I definitely tried that and got toasted.
That
What
backflip didn't go too well, you know what I'm saying?
it
I kind
actually
of got
worked
kicked
one
when I
time.
hit the ground.
It actually worked one time. Like I did win the fight, but I got roasted for kicking. Just because because they thought it was rules in a street fight and nobody is gonna pick their feet up.
Yeah. Hey,
Uh,
the real shit. Nobody messed with me when I put the karate shoes on, though, bro. They left me alone.
Oh man,
Oh.
man, it's man. Johnny say you gonna have to let us take over your podcast again at some point.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm more than willing. Like this has been.
Oh
Oh
yeah, you
gosh.
started breaking up. I don't know what you said.
Yeah, you started breaking up, buddy.
Oh whoopsies. I said that this is like absolutely fantastic. So I'm more than willing to just let this be War Party every week.
Yeah, man. Next time Baron needs a break, tell him we got his back.
Nah, we
That's
need to
right.
have Baron on here. Well, all four of us on here.
We do. We do. I
Oh
already know
gosh.
he gonna I already know he
Oh
gonna
god.
see the thing is when you blah 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 blah
Oh,
oh
I
man.
I can already see it now. Never getting a word in.
This is gonna be fun. Oh
Oh yeah.
man.
Cool. We're gonna have to try and set that up for sure.
Yeah.
But man, one last thing before we go. Now, kiddo, I know you're not so much a gamer these days, but Dallas man over here, I know you've been playing some stuff. Tell the lovely folks at home, what games are interesting at you at the moment?
Well, man, I've literally only been playing 2 games. In the back of my head, I want to, play my PlayStation at some point, but it's gotten no love since Resident Evil Village, right? I have,
Mhm.
for a while, I decided, let me hop on Ninja Gaiden, right? Because I had never beat that game growing up. Talked to my step pops, who was the person who put me on to it, who was even the person who put me on the Xbox as a whole back in the OG days. And come to find out, he's a fraud and he didn't beat the game either. So
Oh,
now I
same.
gotta beat the game just to be able to rub it in his face and be like, "Hey, guess what I did?" Like, so yeah, I've been playing that off and on, and have been making pretty good time on it. All things considered, like I'm doing way better than I ever could have back in the gap. But it's just it aged remarkably well in a lot of ways. But the controls is not entirely one of them. Like they are fairly responsive, and the moves are nice and all of that good stuff. But you know how you kind of need to hit that right analog stick so you can look around you, especially in a game like that where you don't get so you don't get knocked off guard from some random stuff. Yeah, I hit the right
Mhm.
analog stick just by pure instinct in that game, and always end up going into first person and effing myself over. Like it's an instinct. I can't not do it. I can't just tell myself in the back of my head, all right, don't hit the analog stick because you know what's gonna happen. Because even knowing what's gonna happen is just muscle memory at this point. Um,
Yeah.
and along with that, there's one other game, and it's funny because I bought the game because I've been really interested in checking it out because I hadn't touched it since 2000 freaking 3, 4, something like that, right? And even back then, all my memories of it are literally just jokes between me and my brother. So, I decided to buy KOTOR, and I downloaded it, and I told myself, tomorrow night you playing this game. And lo and behold, so the next day was the PlayStation Showcase, and you see what they got announced. So I felt like I had to at that point. And from the time that I booted it up, from the time that I started, damn, they kind of sound pause worthy. From the time that I started the game, um, I've been digging it. I've been really into it. I've been doing my role play thing, and I really kind of been enjoying KOTOR. And then I thought, that knowing the plot twists may kind of ruin it a little bit for me. No, not at all. I understand why it's Mr. Maddie's favorite game of all time. I understand why people praise this game to the high heavens. No, it didn't age well graphically at all. No, the combat is just not like, I'm not gonna say it's not fun at all. It is sort of engaging, but also it's not fun. Like, I just don't know how to explain it. But I don't mind any of that because I'm just really enjoying the game. I'm liking the story. I'm liking being immersed in the world. I'm liking being immersed in Star Wars in that era, and feeling like I'm living in it, and different things happening around me that just sort of make it interesting. So I don't know, like it aged better than the graphics would have you think.
Yeah, like it's not necessarily just gameplay that can keep you interested in the title. And I find that especially with Star Wars games or just Star Wars in general, the plot is usually the most important thing, and whether it be like the animation style or the acting, if it's a film or show, all that stuff can usually be forgiven if the plot was good. And I have to say that's something you can't really get away with though a lot of the time. So
Yeah.
I think Star
Now,
Wars is very lucky in that regard.
in my defense, I have been gaming.
Oh,
Oh snap! Tell us about
Yeah,
it.
exactly. Check yourself. Wait, no, I'm playing.
chickadee
So
chapter.
I've actually been heavily into Destiny 2.
Mm,
Oh,
Um, and like that game, man, dude, that game is just, it doesn't get old, put it that way.
I understand.
But my goal, which I've told myself I'm gonna do, and I'm just gonna do it, is to go back and do the campaign of Titanfall 2.
Oh, it's so good. It's so worth it.
I know. And it's because I've been playing Apex also with my brother, but it's like I want to play Titanfall. I don't want to play Apex. You know what I'm saying? Battle Royales are fun, but I'm not a Battle Royale player. When I play Call of Duty, I play multiplayer. I don't play Warzone unless it's people I'm playing with that want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So um I'm a console player, plain and simple. I'm not a, online, multiplayer, yes, but like as far as all that the new way of playing online gaming, it's I can watch somebody else do it, but me personally, I'm not feeling it like that.
I can relate.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
like my son downloaded the Call of Duty Vanguard beta today. Um, I got to check and see if it's on Xbox. I don't know if it is or not, but I'm interested in playing that. Like every Call of Duty that's come out that had a campaign, I played the campaign, and I've enjoyed the campaign way more than I've enjoyed playing online, except for like the recent ones, Cold Wars, multiplayers and shit.
Mm.
I really don't care for um, what was it, the Modern Warfare one?
Mm-hmm.
It was cool, but the Black Ops is my favorite Call of Duty besides the original three Modern Warfares. But
Yeah.
um, like I said, Destiny. I even jumped back into Bless Unleashed
Mm.
oh,
um the other day, and yeah, the game is fun when I play with the fellas, but if by myself, yeah. You know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
man?
oh,
I didn't even know how to summon my freaking mount. I couldn't figure out how to make it come out, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna run and ended up getting murked by like lions and freaking werewolves and crap. So
Oh man.
oh
I roast
gosh, yeah.
games that's like when people say, "Oh, well, this game is fun with friends," and that's its only redeeming quality or that's its selling point. I normally don't want to play it. Like I played Among Us a grand total of once because don't tell me something is fun with friends if everything is fun with friends. Like anything you do with your
mhm,
friends is gonna be enjoyable. That doesn't mean that the activity itself is enjoyable.
exactly. That's why I couldn't get into that game What was it about the little kids and Shrunk in the Backyard?
Grounded.
Grounded.
Mm-hmm.
I could only play that game with my cousin Eric. That's the only time I could play it. I could never play it by myself.
You
But
mean
he'd get on the bike and we'd get on together and hadn't played in a week and he didn't built the freaking castle
damn.
on on his map. And I'm like, dude, what the hell? Because that's he's in the game. Like when we used to play Ark. He loved the game Ark. I could not play the game by myself.
Man,
I'm
Honey, I
not into
Shrunk the Kids
games
the
like that by
game.
myself. You know what I'm saying? It's like Bless. Me, Johnny, and Baron used to run Bless all the time. It's
Oh
like
yeah.
I couldn't, I can't. It's just no fun for me by myself.
I thought about playing Bliss. I was 2 nights ago, just in the middle of the night with a controller in my hand for no reason, looking at like a review, like 2021 review of it, trying to determine whether or not I would play it. And the only reason I didn't is because I don't know nobody that play it like that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It just
I'll
don't
be
seem fun
honest.
alone.
Oh yeah. With when I was playing Blessed with the guys, I'll be honest, I didn't have the best time.
Mm.
Uh, it- like it felt a little too generic how,
Mhm.
and I kind of had, I was talking about this with Baron the other week or so with New World, like just these new IPs. Like I don't think this is a problem necessarily for the games at all. I think it's just like a me thing, but a lot of these newer IPs that don't have any like anything associated with it, it's hard to really get into their lore and so on. If because it a lot they hit the same beats a lot of the time, and I don't know, it's just a little hard. And with those kind of games, whether it be New World, Blessed, or any really MMO,
What was that
it's
space game we used to play?
the space game. Um, we go into more.
It
Well,
was like you would start out on the planet. And they had the gas planet and the acid
oh,
rain
No Man's
planet.
Sky.
Oh, y'all want to play
Yeah.
No Man's
So
Sky? I'm down.
now that's a game that I have to play with the fellas. And ironically, a lot of streamers that I watch recently discovered this freaking game and been playing the hell out of it.
Mm.
And it's like all the stuff the new stuff they've added to the game. Because like now you have a vehicle you can drive around planets in.
Hmm.
I was like, they didn't have that when I was playing.
They got
You
mechs
had to
now.
walk everywhere or fly your ship and then have to find materials to put gas in it.
Yeah, man. Like,
Uh,
you know what? You just mentioning it and just me realizing what's actually there in the updates. Um, I think I found a reason to boot back up my PlayStation, which is great because I'm tired of replacing my Xbox batteries. Not even gonna lie to
Hey,
you.
yeah.
that's why I got it. My
Eight.
Elite controller battery lasts forever. But when I had a regular controller, I always kept it plugged in.
Man,
I
it's
cannot
like
use it wirelessly.
it's that's literally the only downside to me so far, minus the lack of just big AAA single player experiences on Xbox. Even though it hasn't really been a big issue for me, but yeah, I know moving forward, once I play everything I've been wanting to play, that's gonna be something. Um, it hasn't really. The only real issue for me with playing my Xbox is having to replace batteries. I just wish I could just charge it while I was asleep and move on with my life. Flames, I see you. Sekiro, I know. I've been lacking.
With a Sekiro.
Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. I'm playing the original Sekiro right now. Freaking, what's the name of that game? Dang, Ninja Gaiden. Look, anytime I'm playing an action game like of that style, I usually only play one at a time. Like I can't do more than one at a time because I'll start mixing up controls and stuff. Like as close as I can get to that is like I'm playing Ninja Gaiden, and every now and then I might dip my toes back into Near Replicant, because it's I guess similar enough, but even then, yeah, I kind of miss Sekiro. I'm not even gonna lie. I had a lot of fun with that game, and I am gonna get back on it at some point. Um, but I don't know. Maybe after I finish Ninja Gaiden, I only need one ass whooping in my life at a time.
Mhm.
Oh man. But a game that I picked up in this past week. It'd been years. I think maybe 2018, I think is the last time I touched it, is a little gem called Stellaris. It
Mm.
is a Paradox Interactive title that actually, if you're in the right time zone or just don't have anything to do tomorrow, you can actually play it for free for the next 13 hours because there is a weekend like promo on Steam. Uh, it's a 4X